At India Hikes, we are always comparing a performance of our runs, of our treks, all the time. For example, if you go on a trek from place A to place B, we are always amongst ourselves comparing how long did it take us, how did we do, what was our heart reading, what was our oxygen reading, and even on our runs we want to see, how did our 10 kilometers do, how did our 5 kilometers do, what was our performance, our timings, our heart rate monitoring, everything of those nature. We keep doing it amongst ourselves. It's a good fun. It's not serious, but we do it and it gives us a lot of joy in doing it. And how do we do it? We have lots of sports watches in our office and on our slopes, and we keep comparing our readings, and we keep seeing our results. So when Amazfit sent us this new T-Rex 2 and asked us to review it and tell them how it did on a run and on our treks, we were more than happy to do it, because this is just something which we love. So today I'm going to review the new Amazfit T-Rex 2 and tell you exactly how it performs on a daily run or daily fitness program, as well as on our treks, especially in high altitudes and in cold climates that we have. I'm going to start off with how I like the look and feel of the watch. I'm not going to get into the unboxing of it. It was fairly simple. The setup was fairly simple. There was really nothing much to it, and any one of you, if you just look into it and do it on your own, intuitively you can set it up. So I'm really not going to get into it, but I'm going to talk about my first impressions of this watch that I had. It is a big watch. If you look at it, it is a big watch on my wrist. And I thought a big watch is going to be a little heavy, and surprisingly it doesn't feel heavy. Even though it's a big watch, it doesn't feel heavy. It's quite light for a very big watch, and that's the first thing that struck me, that this was pretty light. I wore it, and I wore it in the nights. I took it to bed, I took it for my runs, and I took it for my daily office. And frankly speaking, after some time I didn't feel the watch on my wrist, and that's something speaking very good about this watch, because other sports watch of this kind tends to feel heavy on the wrist, and this, despite its size, despite its width, doesn't feel heavy. So that's one very plus point. Next, I come to the user interface that I found over here, and this is something I really liked about the T-Rex 2, because this user interface moved very smoothly as I kept playing around with it. I had many options also of the various kind of dials that I wanted. There was this analog dials, there was this digital dials. Then I went to the website, I found a lot more other dials, but even the ones which are built in are absolutely good enough, because they're very easy to read and very nice interfaces, very good screens that they have. But the best thing that I liked was the ease of navigation. I just kept moving it around and it just went very smoothly, no lag, absolutely no time or any hesitation in moving these interfaces, and that's something which I really like, because in some of the watches, sports watches that I have seen, I find there's a slight hesitation in the screen moving around. So for the user interface, I think I really like the T-Rex 2 so far. Then I come to the syncing between the phone and the watch. Now, in most sports watches that we have seen, the syncing is not always very smooth. There is a lag, or we don't get enough data, or some data comes and a few of them don't come, and it always sometimes bothers us. But this time I noticed with the T-Rex 2, especially with the ZEP operating system which they have put in, it has a very nice sync. It's very seamless. You don't feel that lag, or you don't feel any kind of the lag between the phone, between the watch and the phone. In fact, I was playing around with it, and it was very, very smooth. But what I really liked is, with the various runs that we have done and the various activities that we have done, all the metrics that was there on the watch, it downloaded onto the phone very well, and it comes up with this beautiful graph which helps you to see how you're doing and how your performance is vis-a-vis one activity or the other, and one timing or with the other. And that's something really, really good with this ZEP operating system which this T-Rex 2 comes with. So that's again a very big plus point that I really liked about this watch. But the real test of a sports watch is when you actually take it out on a run, or you take it out on the activity that you have in mind. So I took it out for my runs, and I did a couple of runs with it. I did 3 10Ks also with this. I took it out on my other intensity trainings. I did my cardio training, my stair climbings, and I was doing a lot of other activities with it, and I have to say that the GPS worked beautifully. The GPS would come on within less than 20 seconds and very accurate. And mind you, we have been having very bad weather here for the past 1 week. It's been raining, it's been cloudy, and I don't expect GPSs to catch very well. But in less than 20 seconds, it caught onto the GPS and it performed beautifully the entire way, the entire 10 kilometers, and not once but couple of times that I took it out. So that's really telling very good things about this watch. And even the other activities that I was doing, the data was catching on very well. So data catching, which is a very crucial feature of a sports watch, and no sports watch can be called a sports watch if it doesn't catch this. I think it did very well with this T-Rex 2. I'm very impressed and very happy with it. One aspect which I thought could have been better was the heart rate monitoring sensor of this watch. When I was pushing at my maximum, it took some time for the heart rate to catch up with my intensity of my workout, and that's not something that I really liked. I wish it could have caught on faster with what I was doing. So whenever I was looking at it, it was not really matching. This was something which I didn't like. I think everyone's concern is the battery life, and so was mine. I was wondering, such a big watch, will it have good battery life? So I wore it for 7 days straight. I took it to bed. Except for my bath, I had it with me all the time, and I was very surprised. At the end of 7 days, it had good battery life, only a slight dip in the entire charge that we had. So it was good to go for another week or so without any charging of this watch. In fact, I feel it could have gone a little bit more than 2 weeks also, that I'm thinking about. So good battery life, really nothing to worry about. Maybe in a month you're going to charge it twice, not more than that is what I feel. On an expedition, I don't know, we have to test it on a real trek and a real expedition, but in the city, the battery life was very good, nothing to be concerned about. Ultimately, I come to the performance of the watch, because that's why anyone would even buy a sports watch or even work with them. I was very happy with its city performance. As I told you earlier, the GPS worked very well, the distance, the time showed beautifully. Outside that, I really liked it. I really liked the build of the watch, because it's a very military grade and very tough watch. It even fell from my hand once, absolutely no scratch, no dent, nothing of that sort. I just picked it up and it was performing well. But frankly speaking, these watches have to be tested in extreme conditions, especially the conditions that we have on our treks. On our treks where the temperature can go down to minus, when it is raining, where it can snow, when you have a very rugged terrain, it's morning and night, we have no difference. That's when the real performance of these sports watches come up. So I'm going to have this T-Rex 2 sent on a trek and see what we get out of it over there.